Grand Theft Auto 6 is definitely going to outshine Red Dead Redemption 2, as sad as it is to say, because both the games took forever to make. Today in this video, I'm going to go over why Grand Theft Auto 6 will be a different beast compared to Red Dead Redemption 2. GTR versus RDR2 storytelling. Both games employ a heavy dose of satire, but there's a definite difference when it comes to the tone. While Red Dead Redemption 2 has a humor and plenty of it in the end, it chooses to treat the characters like Arthur Morgan as a more serious way and evolve them over the story, at least more consistently. That's not to say there aren't some serious moments in Grand Theft Auto. There are plenty of them, but they're used in a different way. Both of these games have similar storytelling toolkits, but both franchises use these tools on different amounts, and to a different effect. It's like the difference between a doctor and a torturer. They both use pretty similar tools, but they've got some seriously different goals with them. For instance, GTA uses satire to mock the world in its current state, while RDR2 uses it to suggest that the world hasn't changed as much as many think it has. The characters in these games are another place where they drastically differ. Red Dead Redemption 2 has some colorful characters, but they almost all have some real nuance to them that makes them feel like real people with flaws, strengths, love, hate, and above all, the story. Even if there were characters where we never got to really see their full story, it felt like one was there. As with many secondary characters like Uncle and Charles, GTA treats its characters pretty differently. They aren't cardboard cutouts, and they can be very interesting, but they all generally have a fatal flaw that they can't quite see, or at least one that they don't know how to fix. It's evident from the beginning of GTA 5 where Michael is talking to his therapist and making excuses for the things he did as the opportunities he had. The characters in GTA are almost always broken people, and the cracks in their humanity are what bring them and those around them down. Another aspect that could affect the storytelling in GTA 6 is Rockstar's reported approach to its development and release. Instead of releasing in one big package like Rockstar's games have in the past, it's going to release incrementally. It's unclear what exactly that means yet, but it could mean GTA 6's story will release in chapters, similar to how a Telltale game releases or like Final Fantasy VII Remake. This could mean a release date is revealed sooner than expected, but that the whole game for quite a while afterwards still. GTA versus RDR2 settings. The setting is where these two franchises differ in the most obvious way. One franchise takes place in the current day, bustling metropolis, while the other takes place in America 1899. There is clearly a huge difference not only in how both these settings feel, but also in the way they need to be constructed. Red Dead Redemption 2 has a vast and varied open world, and because of the setting, there were big swaths of land that were largely unoccupied by anything other than a few animals. It's a beautiful landscape full of nature, largely untouched in any meaningful way by people. Grand Theft Auto 6 is likely for the most part on the exact opposite side of the spectrum from that. There's no confirmation as to where it's going to take place, but if previous entries into the franchise are any indication, it's likely to have another city, which means tons and tons of NPCs. That also means there's likely to be thousands upon thousands of buildings, and while it's likely that the vast majority will be inaccessible, that's still a gargantuan amount of work. That doesn't mean the game can't be beautiful. Some of the most beautiful places in the world are in cities, but it's going to be a radically different experience, and it's going to be a different kind of beauty. Aside from affecting development time, setting is also one of the biggest influences on how a game feels to play and on how the game world feels to exist inside of. The world of Red Dead Redemption 2 feels open. It feels full of fresh air. It can be relaxing and grounded in a reality more so than the bombastic, loud, modern feel of GTA. The world of GTA is crowded and full of people going about their day that really don't want to be bothered by anybody. They're both settings that present a plethora of opportunities, but those opportunities are not the same. GTA versus RDR2 gameplay. The setting sets up the gameplay opportunities, and those gameplay opportunities are, at the end of the day, what defines a game for many. Because of the differences specifically in the time period, GTA is going to have much more recognizable opportunities in the game, which can be a blessing and a curse. Some of the things in Red Dead Redemption are so far removed from modern life that the emulation is inspiring and new. Meanwhile, GTA is trying to emulate some experiences that may have every day, like driving a car, walking through a city, but ultimately creating wanton mayhem at every conceivable opportunity. Creating that accurately, even though Rockstar has done it before, might take a while for Grand Theft Auto 6. Because of this, Red Dead Redemption turned its attention elsewhere, towards creating a sense of grounded reality where the player's weapon needs to be cleaned and Arthur Morgan needs to maintain a healthy diet. GTA doesn't care about being realistic. It seems to spit in the face of realism in favor of creating scenarios to throw its already insane characters into. GTA 6 is, in all likelihood, going to be an extremely different experience from RDR2. The thing that remains in the Rockstar formula in every game are likely going to be there. A huge and interesting open world, fairly on-rails gameplay, and witty writing, and some stiff controls. But looking beyond that is going to reveal a new game that is going to be the kind of upgrade to GTA 5 that RDR2 was to the original Red Dead Redemption. this brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.